Hello everyone. There was a very interesting thread on Spectrum yesterday from Chris Smith CIG. Alpha 3.18 patch watch balancing keys. We will get additional key bindings, so I don't understand as they wrote. We will give you the option to toggle between lead and leg pip, giving you more flexibility to adjust your aiming. This is in the game since forever. It's not new, it's in your options. Then we have a stopwatch, some changes to ESP, and now the really big thing, balance changes. Ballistic shield penetration will be largely increased. With this change, even strong shields will only scrap off a few % of incoming ballistic damage. Related but not quite ready for 3.18. We are working on a weapon diversification, which will strongly influence weapon performance parameters and ammo counts. This is planned for a later patch next year. So it is not coming in 3.18, but it will come later next year. I think this is a big problem, and maybe CIG shouldn't do this before we have armor in the game and before we have a better damage model. What is ballistic shield penetration? The damage of ballistic weapons is bypassing most shields. I think all shields since 3.14. I tested this in the past. When your shields are full, 5% of ballistic damage is bypassing shields. When your shields are at like 1%, 50% of ballistic damage is bypassing your shields. Well, if this goes live, this will be much worse. Most of the damage of ballistic guns will bypass your shields. Only a little bit will be reduced by your shields. Since 3.14, ballistic guns have a very low number of ammunition, so my guess is CIG is doing this to make ballistic weapons useful again, but this will only increase their use in PvP. You are going in for a quick run, you can almost totally ignore the shields of your target and you are just dumping your rounds. I would have waited until we have armor in the game and then might do something like this, maybe not so extreme. Once again, CIG is putting the cart before the horse. Another problem I have with this, with a lot of changes we saw in the last 2 years, this doesn't look like anyone at CIG has a clear plan, a clear vision, how combat is supposed to work, how anything is supposed to work. This doesn't give me any vibes of a company in year 10 with more than $500 million and more than 800 employees making a game. To me, this looks like a 4-man indie team in year 1. Yeah, CIG is throwing things at the wall and see what sticks. I am very serious now. If CIG would go just back to 2.5, ship combat wise, this game would be 100 times better. Now, ship combat in 2.5 was not perfect, not even nearly perfect, but it was much better, much more fun, much more balanced than what we have nowadays. Another problem with ballistic shield penetration being so strong in the future is the damage model we have right now is very crude and very bad. We have indestructible areas. We have areas that totally block damage like doors and ramps. We have areas that are taking double and triple damage for no reason. Well, no other reason than a bad damage model. We have missing damage pipes. We have damage pipes piping damage to totally different parts of the ship. Yeah, and now you're giving us this. How about working on armor and a good damage model first and then look into changing your guns? Chris always loves to talk about fidelity. Where is my ammo, Chris? This is a Tarantula Mark III size 3 ballistic cannon. You can even see the rifling. I think this is 30 millimeters. Do you have any idea how big 30 millimeter shells are? Let's go into the cockpit. This gun has 200 shots. 200. Now the question is, where? There's not even a magazine. And there would be no room for 200 shots. Once again, CIG is making it totally up. It's all fake. Yeah, no idea what CIG was thinking with ballistics. And here we have the A10 gun. It's a Gatling gun with 7 barrels, GAU 8A Avenger, and this magazine holds 1150 rounds. So it's about 5 times as many shots, as our gun in a game should hold, but we have no magazine. I can guarantee you, PvPers will go full ballistics, just dump their rounds and rearm. Then we have the health of items will be increased to have less chance of being immediately destroyed by a single missile hit. Yeah, I noticed this in my ship toughness tests. Still, a lot of ships are losing coolers and power plants quite easily. Then you have shutdown, no restart, and you are a sitting duck, so this is a good change. And we have changes to distortion damage, EMP and distortion guns. Coolers will not be affected by distortion to avoid deadlocking. Okay, that's very nice. Power plants will not scale down their power output with increased distortion damage, but instead binarily shut off once distortion damage is too high. Power plants will then take 5 minutes to recover, while powered down items will not receive any more distortion damage. Okay, that's really bad. 5 minutes, you are dead well before this. Without power plant, you cannot move, you cannot use your guns, you don't have any shields, you are just a sitting duck for only 5 minutes. Well done, Chris. Once again, this is not coming in 3.18, this is coming in later patches, but I can only repeat myself, I don't get any feeling, any vibes. This is a big company in year 10 that knows what they are doing. There is no plan, nothing is thought through. They are just throwing ideas out and see what sticks. This is terrible.
Get used to disappointment.
Let me know what you think in the comments below and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Got an accident inbound. It's a pretty big one.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.